Hi guys, welcome to May's monthly wrap-up. I'm just going to really quickly go over all the books that I read this month. I won't go too in-depth, I won't give a full review, just some preliminary thoughts, and that's about it, so it's going to be a really short video. I've talked about this a little on my Instagram page, but what I've been doing these past couple of months is a reread of the Harry Potter series, and this month I finished Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I didn't give this book a rating because it's a reread, but what I did notice is that this time around, and it's been years, like years and years and years since I've read this book last, but what I've noticed this time around is that I've been kind of picking up on questions that I didn't ask myself the first time. And I think the first time I read it, I was either in elementary or middle school, and I was very just focused on like, okay, what happens to Harry next? What about Hermione? What about Ron? Like, come on, let's go. And this time around, I just had some questions. Like, I noticed for the shrinking potion, why does it turn a toad into a tadpole? Or why is the Minister of Magic and Hogwarts teachers talking about like top secret stuff in the Three Broomsticks in public in the middle of the day? Just things like that I kind of didn't notice the first time around, and this time I was like, okay. I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense or it's bad, it's just that I didn't question any of these things the first time, and I've just changed as a reader, and that makes sense because it's been a really long time. So I'm interested to see if that trend kind of continues as the series progresses. Like, what else did I miss the first time around? And I'm kind of nervous. I'm trying to mentally prepare myself because I know the Goblet of Fire is kind of where things take a dark turn. So I'm ready. So that was my first book, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. The second book I read was The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. This book just came out recently. It takes place, I think, during the City of Fallen Angels, which is kind of in the middle of the original Mortal Instruments Shadowhunter series. If you don't already know, a lot of the times what I do is I'll read a book and I'll write a full spoiler-free review and I'll post it on my WordPress page and talk about it a little bit on my Instagram page. But like I said, that's kind of why I won't go too in-depth on these monthly wrap-ups. I haven't written a full review for this book yet. I'm working on it, I just haven't had time, but I am giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it. I liked the romance, the excitement. I loved these characters so much. Magnus is my second favorite character. The first favorite character in the Shadowhunter series goes to Simon Lewis so far. But I love Magnus, I love Alec, and I think that they definitely deserve their own book, so I'm excited that they're at the forefront of this new series. I'm interested to see what else happens in the series. This is only book 1. But also, while I was reading this book, I found myself having to look up the timeline a lot. Like, I couldn't remember what had happened in the Mortal Instruments series and what hadn't yet happened in the series, and I read it years ago, so it's been a really long time, and I didn't do any rereads before picking this one up, but that's okay, it's not necessary. I got confused a lot. I couldn't remember what had already happened. Another reason I gave it a 4 out of 5 was because I had read the series and I knew what was going to happen to them in the long run, not just them individually, but as a team, as a couple, in their relationship. And so all the events that happened in this book were a little less exciting for me, because it was less suspenseful, I guess. It was still fun, I still enjoyed it, but when they were in mortal danger, I didn't sweat it too much. The third book I read was Only Ever Her by Marybeth Mayhew Whalen, and I received this book from TLC Book Tours for free to read and review. I've already written a full spoiler-free review for this book, so I won't talk about it too much. And I will link the review down in the description for this video. But I ended up giving this one a 3 out of 5. It was mystery, thriller, suspense, romance. I just didn't like it as much as I hoped I would, but if you want to know more about that, you can read my full spoiler-free review. Only Ever Her, 3 out of 5. And the fourth and final book I read this month was The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I actually really love this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I haven't written a full spoiler-free review yet, but I will, and I will put it on my WordPress. My friends and I were doing a buddy read for this because the movie just came out in theaters about 2 weeks ago. Actually, I think exactly 2 weeks ago. Yep, 2 weeks ago. basically the day it came out, I had been meaning to read this. I invited them to read it along with me. We finished it, and the movie is no longer in theaters in our neighborhoods. For some reason, it was only in theater for 2 weeks, and that is a travesty. But the book was amazing. I really liked just everything about it. I liked the characters. I liked the romance. I feel like Nicola Yoon was able to evoke a lot of emotion and a lot of depth in given that the time frame is only a day, and we know so much about these characters after only 12 hours, and we feel and connect with them so much, and I think that was kind of amazing. And I just like also the writing style and the way she told the story. It was alternating perspectives, but not just for the main characters, for seemingly minor side characters, and just the way she brought everything together and showed the interconnectivity between everyone involved, even people that you wouldn't think are involved, was just masterful. I don't know. So I'm probably gonna read more of Nicola Yoon's things. I really enjoyed The Sun Is Also a Star, and I will watch the movie, but sadly I'll just have to wait till it comes out on demand or DVD and Blu-ray or something, which hopefully it won't take too long because I really want to see it. And that was all for this month. So my first read was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling, The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu, Only Ever Her by Mary Beth Mayhew Whalen, and The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. So tell me, what books did you read this month, and which one was your favorite? Let me know down in the comments section. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and until next time, bye!